Hello fellow survivors, this is your buddy RV Guy back again with another little quick video review. And today guys, I want to talk about the benefits of wood. Now the wood we find out in the forest can be very helpful in a survival situation. For example, the wood can be used to build a fire. If you ever find yourself out in the cold, you'll need to build a fire to prevent hypothermia, getting sick, catching the flu, or just staying warm to survive. And once you have your fire going, the wood can also be used for sterilizing water. You boil it 10 to 15 minutes so it's safe to drink, and also for cooking food so you can have the calories you need to survive. Now, before you can use the benefit of the wood from the trees for campfires and building shelters and things of that nature, you're going to need tools to process the wood. And a couple of the tools that I use that I think are very good items are the Eversaw 8.0 and the Sven saw. Okay, both are very good saws, and one I keep in my everyday bag, which is this one, smaller one. And for my 3-day bag, if I ever have to get away for 3 days or longer, I keep the larger saw. So let's take both of these saws one by one and check the benefits of both of them, guys. Okay, starting with the Eversaw 8.0. This is a saw made by Home Planet Gear. And what this is it's an opening like kind of a jackknife saw. Okay, snaps into place. It has a rubberized handle and an 8-inch blade. A locking mechanism here. And I've had this for a long time. As you can see, it's still sharp. I've used it for quite a while, and it's a very good saw. It's made out of carbon steel, kind of flexible, but it'll do the job. And I say this saw would be used for, I would say, probably small to medium-sized branches. Nothing too heavy, but you can build fire with it, and you can build kind of a small shelter. It can also be used for self-defense as a weapon. I like this little saw, and like I say, this is the one I carry in my everyday bag. I think that having some type of sawing mechanism is important. You never know. You might get stranded. You need to build a fire. You might want to boil water. You might want to... And with this, you can process. Not only that, this is a good little gardening tool. Cutting off branches, pruning trees, things of that nature. This can be used for that also. Okay? And like I said, this one goes in my everyday bag. Okay, guys, this is the Sven saw. Now, the Sven saw comes in 2 sizes, guys. It comes in a 15 and a 21 or a 22 inch, I believe. This is the 15-inch one, which means the blade is 15 inches long, and that's good enough for me, for what I use it for. Now, how this saw works is, if you look right here, there's a wing nut, right? Now, you're going to have to take this wing nut off, and don't lose this wing nut, because the wing nut is the key to the saw. Without it, it won't work. Okay? I even suggest going to Home Depot and Lowe's, matching up the threads on this bolt here, and getting you another wing nut just in case, just for a spare, just in case you do happen to lose it. All right? Then you have to slide the saw out of the red handle. All right. You open it up, just like so. And do be careful, because this blade is very sharp, guys. You open the saw up, place it inside the bottom here. And while you're doing that simultaneously, you have to place it inside the top. Just like so. Just got to line up. There's a little hole that it goes through. All right. Once you have both top and bottom through, you're going to take this wing nut. Remember this wing nut that we said not to lose? And you're going to tighten it up until there's no more rattling, until it's nice and snug. There you go. And this is your Sven saw. All right. And like I said, the blade is 15 inches. And what you would use this saw for, guys, would be medium to large branches or medium to large pieces of wood. Something that you couldn't do with the Eversaw. Now, if you take a look at the blade on the 7 saw, it's kind of reminiscent of the old lumberjack saws that they used back in the days before they had power saws, gas powered saws, chainsaws. They would have to take saws like this, but on a larger scale, and cut logs, right? But this is something that you can have in your bag, your own personal bag, and it works very well. Now, in comparison to the Eversaw, as you can see right here, you get about a blade and a half more with the 7 saw, okay? And like I said, this would be for medium to larger size branches or logs, and this would be for smaller, okay? This is more of a smaller item. Not saying that it isn't good. It can do the job to build a fire, but if you want to build a shelter or you want to do something a little bit more heavy duty, I would go with the 7 saw. They're both excellent good. They're both good at cutting. There's 2 different techniques. Like I said before, the Eversaw, it's a pull back, kind of like the Japanese saws. You pull back. You go forward, but you put the force on pulling back, and that's where you get your cut. This is just a straight up and down, back and forth lumberjack motion, and you get a cut either way. But hey, why don't I show you guys so you get a better understanding of what I'm saying? Well, guys, as you can see, the diameter difference in the wood. Now, with the Eversaw 8.0, you can cut logs about this big, maybe a little bit larger, maybe even something this big if you put a lot of elbow grease into it, which would be good for small jobs, firewood, kindling, gardening, pruning trees, and things of that nature, okay? But with the 7 saw, you can cut something with a diameter much bigger, 3-4 times as big as the Eversaw. And this would be good for larger logs on your fire, building shelter, camping, maybe making wood furniture, things of that nature. So I think these are 2 good tools that you should keep in your bag at all times. I keep the Eversaw in my little bag and the 7 saw in the larger bag. And they're good for processing wood. You never know. You never know when you're going to need them. This has been your buddy RV Guy. Until next time, peace.